Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Does Boxing. We back again. We got this recap show for you guys, plus some news and notes. You know what I'm saying, from the week of boxing. So we're gonna get into it. But I want to salute everybody coming through the building, though. I gotta do that. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Feel free to check me out on my social media, scrolling across the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate the support. Alright. Yes, sir. My man Sippa in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro, coming through. We're gonna get this early one in for sure. We got a lot of shit popping off too, y'all. So y'all bear with me. Just Do Boxing. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Yes, sir. So we're gonna do a recap of this week's fight. So it wasn't really too crazy. So and then we're gonna get into the news and notes. But we gotta talk about this fight down in Australia, Janibek and Mikhailovich. So we're gonna work our way up. My man Charlie Kazaz got a nice little victory, you know what I'm saying? Young fighter, up and coming. The female fight, Matu versus O'Connell. This is a late replacement. Matu is the IBO champion, and she's the IBF mandatory. She was supposed to face Ellie Scotney on the 26th, October 26th, but Ellie Scotney came up with an injury, so she had to pull out. Ann McQueen, what's good with you, bro? Ann McQueen in the building, salute. So Matu, she decided to stay busy, and she faced O'Connell, who is a veteran. And Matu, she like the female Sean Porter. I don't know if you guys seen this fight, but she basically mauled this girl. You know what I'm saying? She's strong, physically strong. I'm not sure if that translates to being a big puncher. I'm not sure, but she's physically strong. So the fight with Ellie Scotney that's interesting because I'm hearing she had a calf injury. So yeah, I would have pulled out too because that girl is strong. She's tough. She rugged. A lot of head clashes. Like I said, she's similar to Sean Porter. So that's gonna be interesting. They gotta reschedule that fight. And it just got more interesting. So we're gonna see. Main event. So there's a lot to this main event, right? Because Mikhailovich is the IBF mandatory. He didn't want to fight for the WBO because he wanted that 10-pound rehydration clause. Now Janibek, we all know he passed out trying to make weight in July. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of smart on their team because they was up against it. So we're gonna talk about the aftermath of that. But as far as the fight, Janibek was a much more talented fighter. We all know that. He was saying Mikhailovich with everything. Mikhailovich, the only thing he did was he was just tough. You know what I'm saying? He fought. He tried to dog it out, but he ain't really had no talent to do anything real good. But he was getting in the inside. He just don't got no inside game. A guy with a good inside game against Janibek will give Janibek problems because he really wasn't giving no resistance. He wasn't giving them nothing to worry about. They were just getting inside. So imagine somebody with a nice game. They probably would have gave Janibek some work. But Janibek, he hurt my man towards the end of one of those early rounds. He had him hurt. It was like a delayed reaction with a left hand. You know what I'm saying? But then it was a tougher fight than expected because that kid, he didn't come to lose. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give him props. He ain't come to lose. He ain't come to lay down. He tried. But Janibek ended up getting him up out of there the 10th round as expected. But a lot of people thought it was going to be early. I thought it was going to be like 2 or 3 rounds. But salute to Mikhailovich. He tried though. It's just Janibek was just too good for him. The uppercut wasn't missing. Some stuff I want to see Janibek do a little bit better, but it kind of opened up the other fighters in the middleweight division. They opened up their eyes like, shit, I want to fight him now. That's all it takes. One kind of suspect performance, but I thought he dominated. I don't really think he lost any rounds. Maybe one. But he got the 10th round stop his victory though, so he moves on and keep his titles. I mean, Andre, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. He's a KO waiting to happen. Man, I don't know. He didn't really show like he ain't had no chin, but I think if you can get busy with him on the inside, I think you can have an opportunity though. Now, as far as the aftermath, right? So the WBO before the fight, they said they was gonna first they said they was gonna sanction the fight anyway because they were like Janibek can't take a voluntary. You know what I'm saying? He got to put both belts on the line. You know what I'm saying? So they sanctioned the fight. Janibek's team said, nah, we don't want the WBO on the line. So it was a lot of confusion with that. So actually, the WBO wasn't at stake for this fight. So that caused a problem because the WBO was like, listen, we sanctioned the fight. They really want their sanction fee. Y'all know what that is. You know what I'm saying? So they giving Janibek 5 days to give them a good reason why he didn't put the title on the line. And if they don't like the reason, they're going to strip his ass. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what's up with that. Now, if that happens, Hamza Shiraz is number 1 in the WBO, and Denzel Bentley is number 2. They'll probably fight for the vacant WBO title. And those guys are in negotiations to fight December 21st on the Usyk and Fury card. That's actually a good fight. 2 big punches from the UK. Denzel Bentley fought Janibek. I thought he did well, after the first 4 rounds. I think he was fighting a little timid. I guess he was scared of the aura, but once he realized he's just a man, he fought him even for the rest of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Won like 4 or 5 rounds after that. And then Hamza Shiraz is like the heir apparent to the middleweight division. You know, big, strong kid. Been knocking out sleeping shit lately. So those guys are supposed to fight. So we're going to see. Now, if they accept this excuse, Janibek's excuse, I expect the WBO to order Hamza Shiraz like right away. You know what I'm saying? I expect them to order it. And that's a fight that I really look forward to. Now, that's when we're going to see Janibek getting tested for real because Hamza Shiraz can punch. And he's tall enough to kind of keep Janibek at bay. I don't know if he got a good inside game. I haven't really seen it. But like mid-range, he going to give Janibek something to think about. So, yeah, we're going to see, though. He got like 5 days. So I guess like the top of the week, we'll hear something. So that's what it is. With Shiraz, I would bet money that he doesn't have a great chin. I mean, he got clipped against Ammo. I don't know, maybe not, but I like him though. I think he'll give Janibek a good fight, and it'll be something that Janibek gonna have to worry about. All right, Friday night we had this fight right here on Red Hour Boxing on the Zone. So I call this the Brian Norman Bowl. This is me fucking around, but both guys fought Brian Norman. They did pretty well against him. Both came up short. Well, Boca Chica got a head class, so I guess she said he came up short. But we had Quentin Randall versus Janelson Boca Chica. So this is like a crossroads fight. I mean, Janelson didn't do nothing in this fight. He just let Randall just fight at his pace, jab him up all night, and win a wide, unanimous decision. You know, so I like to see. I was thinking Boca Chica was going to risk, take some more risks in this fight. He didn't. So when you allow a guy like Randall, who is a good boxer, fast, you know what I'm saying? He's smart, and he know how to maneuver in the ring. That's why he always get called to be a chief sparring partner, because he know how to. He ain't gonna go in there and get beat the fuck up. He's gonna work with you. So he brings that into the ring as well. But it's gonna be hard. It's hard if you're not like a top tier welterweight. You're gonna struggle with Randall. Even the top tier welterweights will struggle because he's gonna slow you down. Unless you're gonna make him fight faster, and you're gonna let him fight at that slow pace and jab and pick and poke, you're gonna lose. That's just what it is. So we'll see what's next, man. Randall get the victory. Let's see, can he get a bigger fight in the welterweight division, because I know he had lost 2 in a row before this. The welterweight division really ain't so crazy. He can get in the mix and try to get a big fight. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. I think most people rally behind Shiraz because middleweight is so weak. Now, I think he's a good fighter. I think he's like number 4 If you count the champions, Janabek, Lara, Adamas, and I think Hamza Shiraz is number 4. So yeah, I'm rallying behind him because I think he one of the best. I don't know what everybody else talking about, but I think he one of the best in the middleweight division. I think he'll give the champions a problem with his size, and yeah, I think he'll give them a problem. There's a reason why he fought 2 southpaws back to back. That's smart. Get used to that. So here was a card from Friday night. It was on ESPN Knockout. So Flores got a victory. He dropped my man like 2 or 3 times in the fight. He got a unanimous decision. The ladies, Mariah Cripps versus Marilyn Rivas. Rivas is a former world champion at 122. Mariah Cripps just outboxed her, outworked her a little bit. This is an important fight for Micaiah Cripps because the number 1 spot at 122 is vacant. And both ladies are like top 5 in that sanctioned body. So the winner basically, man, this is like a eliminator. You know what I'm saying? So I expect Cripps to get a title fight. I mean, she won the fight fairly easy. I mean, Rivas came in like 4 pounds overweight too. And she was, she really wasn't like, she didn't fight like her normal self. So that's what's up though. So the interesting thing about this is Micaiah is managed by Jamel Herring, and her promoter is Lou DiBella. So hopefully she get an opportunity at a world title pretty soon. So that's what it is. Alright, we're gonna talk about this Nick Ball card from yesterday. There's a bunch of fights on that card too. He's probably number 2 for me. I don't think much of Adames. Yeah, Adames is. I think Adames is still up there. I think a lot of him. He good. He had I ain't like the performance against Goucher, but I'm not writing them off. He good. All that I worry about him is his stamina. Opulent LD, what's good with you, bro? Salute. Winston Lee in the building. Salute to you, bro. What's good with you? Alright, so we had this card right here. It was a bunch of fights, man. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check it out. Nick Ball versus Ronnie Rios. We're going to talk about it. So, it was a bunch of fights. I think it was 12 fights total. I watched the card. The prelims was on YouTube. So, I was able to watch that. Nothing really stood out like that to me. I ain't going to lie. A bunch of UK fighters. I like that James McGivern guy. He's solid boxer. But there was a lot of prospects. Let me see. The main card, what stood out? I like the guy Kane. Kane is strong ass fighter right there. He's strong. He's in the same camp as Nick Ball. You can tell you watch him fight. The other there, Herrera, the Cuban fighter. That dude flashy. He got that. He like the lightweight version of David Morrell and Iglesias. He had a highlight reel knockout over Flores. I like that kid. Fast, strong. Once he face somebody, once he step up in competition, a lot of the stuff he getting away with, like technical stuff with his hands down, he ain't gonna be able to get away with. But as far as raw talent, Herrera is like that. He like that. Nobody talking about him as an up and coming prospect. He over there. He's a Cuban. He probably the most flashiest guy that Queensberry has. You know what I'm saying? So that's an interesting signing. But I like him. I think the best fight was Henry Turner versus Rafferty. That was a good fight. Henry was a southpaw. He's the southpaw. He was boxing real well. He was doing Rafferty dirty a little bit. He was counter punching with the left hand. Rafferty was just walking forward. Really wasn't cutting the ring off. But the tide changed like in the 9th or 10th round. Rafferty started to get to him. He hurt him to the body. And he came back. He had to come from behind, stop his victory. So that was a good performance, to close the show. So Rafferty, if you seen that fight, bro, like honestly, I was watching it and I know these guys was like at 140, but them dudes look like they middleweights, especially Rafferty. Rafferty looked like he rehydrated up about 20-something pounds. So I don't know. They say he was struggling to make the weight. He was tight at the weight. So I can see him probably moving up soon. But that's a good victory for him. good victory because he was losing all the rounds for sure. Now, Nick Ball and Rios. This is an entertaining fight, though. I ain't gonna hold you. One-sided, but entertaining. He said that was a good one. So, Nick Ball making his first title defense after defeating Ray Ford. He been having a tough year, having some good fights. So I don't mind him taking a step down to give Ryan Rios an opportunity, but I thought Ryan Rios was game. He was digging to the body, but it really wasn't affecting Nick Ball. Nick Ball is strong as fuck. He's probably one of the strongest fighters physically in the game right now. The dude is strong. And he was just taking it to Rios. I loved his jab. His jab was so underrated. The jab was helping him get closer. And it was a fight that he really didn't have to work so hard to get close because Rios is right there. But he was just, it's just youth, strength. He had all the advantages at home, and he beat up on Rios. He dropped him in the fight. He got 2 knockdowns in the fight. The second one, I thought, before the stoppage, I thought the second one was a push. But that highlight reel knockout he had to close the show, knock my man out the ring. That was nice. You know what I'm saying? He putting his punches together. So Nick Ball, that's a good victory for him, as far as like homecoming and after coming off that year he fought Dalbey, former world champion, Ray Vargas, then he fight Ray Ford. So he been having some tough fights as of late. So that's a good one to go home to his fans. So, Nick Ball, bro, listen, featherweight division we got some good fights that can be made. You know what I'm saying? The other champions is Rafael Espinoza, WBO. IBF is Angelo Leo. You got the WBC, Ray Vargas. That's the fight that Nick Ball won because he thought he won that fight. I did too. So good fights for him to be made at the top. Now he has a WBA mandatory. That's Stephen Fulton. Stephen Fulton won it was an eliminator, that fight he had against Castro. I knew something was coming because Castro came into the new WBA rankings right before that fight. So they'll probably order Stephen Fulton. We're going to see. That's a tough fight for Fulton. I ain't going to lie. Nick Ball is a tough fight. Whether you want to bang, especially if Fulton decides to bang with Nick Ball, he going to have a lot of trouble. He going to have to box that fight. He going to have to box. And based on his last fight and his punch resistance looking like it's kind of shaky. So that's going to be a tough fight if that fight happens. We're going to see. No matter who he unified with, Nick Ball, if it's Espinoza, that shit going to be interesting. You got 6-1 versus 5-1. That's going to be crazy. The fight I like is Leo versus Nick Ball. That's going to be crazy. That'll be a crazy fight. That's a fight of the year candidate. Nick Ball versus, I think he beat Ray Vargas. I think he'll beat him more decisively this time. But imagine Nick Ball versus Brandon Figueroa. So we got some shit popping at the featherweight division. You know what I'm saying? There's not really been talked about like that. Now Shushu, he was number 1 before, but like I said, Fulton jumped him again. So it's crazy how that worked. Fulton came into the new WBA rankings out the blue a couple of months ago when he was supposed to fight on the Tank Davis undercard. The opponent fell out, so they put Shushu at number 1 out the blue. So I guess they allowed the mandatory eliminator for Fulton versus Castro. So Castro jumped him. So the winner of that was the mandatory. So Fulton jumped Shushu in the ranking. So it looked like it's gonna be Fulton. So we're gonna see. I still have my doubts about Fulton. I think he's a good fighter with some dog in him. But this might be a bad matchup for him. I'm not gonna lie. As far as the other champions, I think he'll probably do well against the other champions. I don't think he can sit in the pocket. Like, you remember at 122 when he fought Leo's fight and outdogged him. He fought Figueroa fight and he barely got the victory. I don't think he'll do that against Nick Ball because Nick Ball is a little bit stronger. He physically strong and he's quicker than expected. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's gonna be a tough fight. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what the WBA, what they order. But I'm down for it. They made the fight. I'm watching it. All right, so here go. We got some news and notes. So the first couple of slides we got, it's like purse bids and fights that was ordered. So we're gonna talk about that. Then we're gonna go into some fight announcements, stuff like that. So the cruiserweight title with the WBC. So this shit been like up and down for a minute. This fight been postponed for like I think 2 or 3 times. So you got Noel McCallan versus Ryan Rozicki. This fight was supposed to happen September 28th down in Miami, the Don King show. But the fight fell out. Don King, they said he's sick, he having issues, so they had to cancel the fight. So they did a purse bid October the 4th, and they worked out a deal. So this fight is going to Canada, Nova Scotia, Canada, December the 7th. That's where Ryan Rozicki is from. So yeah, finally this fight is getting this fight need to happen. This shit been too long. This got a crazy style matchup because McCallan is a boxer, a good boxer, good technical boxer, and Rozicki is just a come forward pressure fighter. So I like McCallan in this fight, honestly. I don't know why fighters signed with Don King. I'm just being honest because Don King will lock you in and you can't fight on no other platform, and then you just be sitting out. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see though. But finally, you know what I'm saying, this is the cruiserweight title, and the cruiserweight division is starting to open up a little bit. We got Jay Avataya fighting next week, defending his IBF title against Jack Massey. November 16th, we got a unification with Zerto and Chris Bell-Smith. So we need McCallan or Rozicki, whoever gonna win, to join the party. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So these guys supposed to fight December the 7th in Nova Scotia up there in Canada. So we're gonna see. Alright, so this another one. This fight is supposed to have been done between Lawrence Okolie and Kevin Lerenia. I talked about it on the show before. Supposed to have been done in June, but obviously it wasn't. So they're gonna have a purse bid next week. I think it's the 8th. No, the 5th. So no, not the 5th. I think it's the 8th. Right? So the 8th. Their purse bid is supposed to be on the 1st. It got pushed back to the 8th. So this is a Bridgerweight title fight. Lawrence Okolie won the title against Luka Rozanski. First round, no, it was the first round, third round knockout. He beat him up. And then Lerenia is the interim champion. So this fight I feel like this fight is like a Saudi fight. You know what I'm saying? It probably would have fit better on the AJ and Dubois card, to be honest, but I don't know what's going on. So I'm thinking this fight going to South Africa because Lerenia got a good team, and those guys, they got a good support system. They might bring that fight down there. So we're going to see. October the 8th, we should get some news about it. Alright, so this is a big one right here that came out last week. So Terence Crawford and Sebastian Fundora, these guys got a 10-day extension, to negotiate. Well, they didn't negotiate the whole 30 days. The fight was ordered August the 28th. September 28th, 29th that's the week. That was last weekend, but it was due basically on Monday, and they asked for both parties agreed to an extension. So Terence Crawford's lawyer is conducting business for him, and he asked for the extension, and then Samson was like, all right, cool, let's get it. So yeah, I know this fight been ups and down because we thought Spence and Fundora was gonna fight. Spence jumped in the ring, and that made sense for PBC, but it's too many questions about Earl Spence. Nobody knows what's going on with him, and nobody can answer no questions about him either. There's nothing, So I feel like honestly, this the fight right here, because Crawford was trying to fight the winner between Fundora and Tim Tszyu. And then Tim Tszyu, they say he was injured and all that shit, so he went and fought Majimov. We know the story. So I like this fight. This is not an easy fight for Crawford when it happens, if it happens. And it looks like it's working towards that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see if it happens. So this fight's supposed to happen, according to the WBO, it's supposed to happen before the year is out. You know what I'm saying? December 31st. So, I mean, I'm guessing this fight can go on the Usyk Fury on the card if Turkey don't win it. I know Samson, he got the okay from the PBC to negotiate and to drop a purse bid. So we're going to see, yo. It's interesting. We're going to see. So this fight will be for 3 belts. So Crawford is a WBO interim champion, and he's a WBA champion. So they will consolidate the WBO titles. Fundora is the WBC and WBO champion. So 3 belts right there. So at 154. So we're going to see. You got to wait and see. You got to see what's up. I think the fight going to happen because we know Crawford, he been calling out Canelo. Canelo ain't going to give him that opportunity for one reason or another. You know what I'm saying? Some people like the fight, some people don't. Me, I'm cool with the fight. You know what I'm saying? If dudes ain't did half of what Crawford did, getting opportunities, why can't Crawford get opportunities? That's just how I look at it. But I do understand it. And I don't think Canelo don't got nothing to gain. I would give him his full credit if he was to go in there and sleep Crawford. Because, that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to sleep him. So I think though Crawford and Canelo are 2 of the, best champions in the last 10 years. So that's why I like the fight. I think it'll be a mega fight. But if not, this is the one. You know what I'm saying? Fundora's team seems like they ready to make the fight. So there's a lot of, that's the thing, like, the PBC don't really give fans a lot of news, right? You ain't gonna get a lot of inside information from them unless you really own your shit, right? So, our minds was already programmed that we was gonna get Spence and Fundora. But when you really look at it, we ain't seen Spence doing anything in boxing since March. He kind of like irrelevant to me, honestly, in boxing right now. I'm just being honest. Take it how y'all want to take it. I just don't see him doing nothing in boxing right now. All the shit is subliminal. And fans taking that shit and run with it. Dudes sitting in the shade because it's hot outside in Texas and they saying, somebody can say, oh, he coming back. He in the shade. He coming back. Some people say he retired. Some people, like, subliminals. Too many subliminals. This is what you gonna do. We don't know about Spence trainer. Nobody said nothing about a trainer. You know what I'm saying? He still got. I know he had a lawsuit with Derrick James. He coming off what did he have last time? He had eye surgery in January, right? Bro. It's too many questions. So they said the fight was gonna happen in October. Then went to December. Then went to January. So I guess. So Fundora's team getting the okay to negotiate with Crawford means the Spence fight is out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Let's get it. I think it'll be a good fight though. It's a tough fight for Crawford though. Got to navigate that shit that Fundora brings to the table. Dempster Design in the building. What's good with you? Salute to you. Salute. So yeah. So October the 10th. That's the deadline for this. Negotiations, then go to purse bid. So we'll see what's up. Here's another WBO ordered fight right here. You have Robeisy Ramirez and Rafael Espinoza. So this seemed like a no-brainer fight to happen because they both on the same side with Top Rank, and it was penciled in the fight December the 7th on the undercard of Navarrete Valdez 2. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be 2 rematches. Because I thought Navarrete dominated against Valdez, but since he lost at lightweight, we never know. But it looked like Espinoza's team is kind of balking at the negotiations. You know what I'm saying? So they had to order this fight, and they got like their deadline is the 11th. So we're gonna see. I like the fight though. I think it's a pretty much 50-50. But I like Espinoza. I think Espinoza can win by stoppage in this fight. You know, I think he got all the advantages. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he. I don't know. Because I know he got a co-promotional deal with Zanfer and Top Rank. So I don't know if he don't like the money or he want to try to unify. Because I know Angelo Leo is supposed to come back in January. He's supposed to have a voluntary in January. If he's trying to get out of this fight to fight Leo, I understand it. But at this point, he's backed into a corner because if he don't go through with the fight, he gonna get stripped. So we're gonna see. Because Zanfer has their own plans with their fighters. Like they have Jaime Munguia as well. So Jaime Munguia trying to come back in December. Like he don't wait on these big promoters to get him a date. He can fight all the time if he really want to, because his promoter in Mexico, they get him dates. You feel me? So Espinosa is under that same umbrella. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. So October the 11th, we should be hearing something about this. To me, it seemed like an easy fight to make, but I don't know. All right, so we had a fight that got postponed. So Brian Norman Jr. is out of his November the 8th fight against Derek Cuevas. He got a hand injury. So these guys probably running back top of next year. Like I mentioned, Angelo Leo is supposed to come back like January the 18th. So maybe they hop on that card. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure if Top Rank gonna give Brian Norman his own headline. Maybe they do. If they do, they're going to have him in some crazy, obscure place. Oklahoma, Verona, New York. Where else they be going? Minnesota sometimes. They ain't going to have him do like a hometown fight in Atlanta. They're going to have him in one of those venues that they be... Like, you remember Cambosa's fought in Oklahoma? They might do some shit like that if he headline. But maybe he get on the show with Angelo Leo. And, yeah, that'd be cool. So hopefully everything is good. He come back. Get this title defense. So I know people asking, why he can't just go into the Boots fight or go into a unification. That's easier said than done. Like boxing don't just work like that. Like you just get out one fight and go to the next one. But you got contracts. This guy Cuevas signed a deal to fight for the world title. And then if you try to get out of that and go fight somebody else, then that's some legal shit. So that's why he can't get out of this. He got either, just gotta reschedule the fight. It is what it is. Alright, so hopefully he come back stronger though. That's what's up. Alright, so here's the news about the Beterbiev and Bivol fight, how y'all can watch it. So I think we already know this, but I'm just gonna reiterate. So the main event will be aired on ESPN Plus, right? So no pay-per-view for this card. So it'll be on ESPN Plus only. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the show will be on the Zone, and you can watch it for free. So if you got the Zone, you got the app already, you can watch it with your subscription. It's a pretty, you got good names on the card, but this Wally versus Clark, that's the best fight on this card. You know what I'm saying? But you got names like Chris Eubank Jr., Jay Abataya, you got Ben Whitaker, you got a good women's fight with Nicholson and Chapman. So, no pay-per-view. So I guess everybody should be good. It really don't make a difference anyway, because we still in pay-per-views anyway. So it is what it is. But that's good to know though. But to me, it's good for me. I know people complain about why we gotta switch over and go to this network. Bruh, boxing is on, bruh. If you want to watch it, you gonna watch it. That's all I say. That complaining shit on free TV is crazy to me. Or if you got the app already and you complaining, you just want to complain. Because we switch all the time. I switched yesterday. I watched the prelims. We switch, even with, I know people love PBC. When PBC doing their show, we switch from the YouTube channel for the prelims, and then we go to the pay-per-view. Same shit. So, let's be complaining. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a big week of boxing, and this is definitely the undisputed fight. That's what we need, bro. Beterbiev versus Bivol. That's a 50-50 fight. I can't wait for it. Long time in the making. Bro, Mike in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Salute. So we all got a good opportunity to watch this fight, man. I can't wait for it. All right, so here's some news in the lightweight division. So Juan Carrasco versus Zor Adelev. They're gonna fight October the 19th in Argentina. This fight was originally scheduled for September the 6th in Russia, but Carrasco couldn't get out of Argentina. He was having visa issues. So this is an important fight for the lightweight division. It's an IBF title eliminator for the number 2 spot. So we know William Zepeda is number 1 across the board, and we know Lomachenko pulled out of the Tank negotiations. So if if Lomachenko do retire, you know what I'm saying? Because there is a possibility. He 36 years old, about to be 36. It's a possibility. You know, it could be one of these guys fighting for the vacant title. What's interesting is Zor Adelev and Lomachenko has the same manager, Igis Clemens. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's kind of interesting when I saw this. But this is gonna be a solid fight. Zor Adelev, I know his claim to fame. This is crazy how we do in boxing, but his claim to fame is getting stopped by Devin Haney in 2019. Since then, he's been a top 10 lightweight, beating a lot of good guys and just staying active. So, you know, I like to come back too. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you fall, I like how you come back. And he definitely been doing his thing since that loss. So that's a long time ago too. A lot of shit done changed. So we'll see. He going down to Argentina, facing a tough. You know, those guys down there are tough and strong. So we're gonna see. All right, we got some good news. Anthony Yarde is back, man. He's one of these guys that we need active in the fight game. I know he was having promotional issues with Frank Warren, but he signed like a working relationship with Boxer. So he'll be back October the 19th. No opponent yet, but this is good news because Waxley just won the WBO interim title. And he's with Boxer, and that's a big fight in the UK. But Waxley versus Anthony Yarde. So this right here, this move gets us closer to that fight, and that's the fight I like. You know what I'm saying? So Anthony Yarde, he came up short in his 2 title opportunities against Kovalev and Beterbiev, so he got to stay away from the Russians. But everybody else, he a problem, and he was giving those guys problems in that fight too. So he can, Yarde is in the mix. He's in the mix. We got Benavidez Morel, who is talking about fighting in January. You know what I'm saying? They in the light heavyweight division. We got this undisputed fight coming up. You know, we got Waxley. We got some players. We got the IBF mandatory Michael Eifert. So Yarde is right in that mix. And we can get Callum Smith back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Light heavyweight can be back. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's up. Alright, so we have a fight announcement. We got Liam Davies versus Masoud. These guys gonna fight November the 2nd. They just announced their card. That's a good fight at 122 pounds. I think it's for the IBO title, but some world rankings as well because both of those guys are good fighters. This is a Queensberry show. Chantel Cameron is on the card. She's going to defend her WBC 140-pound title. She's going to face former champion Patricia Bogart. Patricia Bogart lost her title at 154 to Natasha Jonas a couple years ago. So she dropped it all the way down to 140 to face Chantel Cameron. So that's an important fight, and that's a smart move by Queensberry, getting Chantel Cameron to fight closer to the because she's the mandatory for Katie Taylor. So she should get the winner between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, who is fighting November 15th. So she's staying on schedule fighting November the 2nd, which, you know, that's what's up. Now, Patricia Bogart is a tall, rangy fighter. She's like 6 foot. But she a good boxer, but she don't got no dog in her. And Chantel Cameron got dog, and she got boxing skills. So I expect Chantel Cameron to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is though. But Liam Davies, I like him. He one of those fighters that I think he can win the world title. I don't think he can beat anyway, But I think he can win a world, like once anyway, go to featherweight, he can win a world title for sure. He a big puncher. So we're gonna see what's up. Alright, so top rank, this is November the 2nd. They announced the rest of their card. So this is a card headlined by O'Shaquie Foster and Rosen Cancel, the rematch. You know, the first fight was a bad decision. You have Ray Mortala on the card. You got Abraham Nova. I think Hank Lundy is fighting one of these prospects on the card, but they just announced a couple of more fights. You got Jahad Tucker making his return. Jahad Tucker just fought in Canada in August. He had a solid performance, so bring him right back. Ali Falez, he was supposed to fight last week on the Sandy Ryan versus Michaela Mayer show, but he had issues with his opponent, so he gonna come back on November the 2nd. You got Damian Kimba. He's the Polish heavyweight. You know, he been having some up and down performances. Not really impressed with him. You know what I'm saying? And then Jan Santana versus Edward Baez. That's a tough fight. Baez, he could have won the world title. He was close to winning the world title against Navarrete, but Navarrete hit with that body shot and then end the show. So you know what I'm saying? Good little card up there in Turner Stone. You know, I expect O'Shaquie Foster to get his title back though. So we're gonna see what's up. And then Ray Mortala, he gotta win so he can keep his name in position to fight for a world title as well. So yeah, Nick Ball talking too much. Yeah, he taking too much punishment. Yeah, he luckily broke his nose, but that dude's strong as fuck though. He needs to take some. He needs to take some kind of adjustment or something. He won't last that long. Good morning. What's good with you, bro? No, I think I agree with you on the punishment, but he fought through that shit. If he gonna have issues with guys that can punch, if you ain't punching, he gonna run. He gonna be okay. He got guys that can punch and guys like I like the Leo fight because Leo, he's a great body puncher and Rios was getting a lot of opportunities to dig to the body. And it won't affect Nick Ball. I think Leo will affect him. And he a veteran. He got power too. Espinoza gonna give him problems because of the height. He got to jump in. He gonna be jumping into that power. I think Figueroa can bang with him. He a big, strong guy. They can kind of push him back because Nick Ball, you know, like it's kind of hard to push him back. You know, strong dude. So he got to make sure his defense is tighter when he fight those top guys. But he's just so strong. He bullied these guys. Like I think he would bully Fulton, bro. It'd be a lot of holding and shit. And when you holding, I don't see Nick Ball getting tired. I see Fulton getting tired, and I think he'll outwork Fulton. That's just what I see. And I don't know if he got the power to keep him off like that. So yeah, Leo probably could. Definitely, if you get those opportunities to go to the body, like last night, yeah, for sure, he'll have an opportunity. All right, so here's a card, November the 9th. It's about to get announced pretty soon, but pretty much we already know what it is. This is Puerto Ricans versus Mexicans. Sabril Matiz is going to headline this card. I think he's facing a kid named Ramirez. I forget his first name, but Matiz is coming back. You also have Manny Rodriguez is on this show. He fighting for another IBF eliminator. You have the Dominican fighter Alfredo Santiago, who you know his claim to fame is fighting Devin Haney too, but he had a good victory his last fight. So they're doing this show. So it's interesting because Matiz signed with Matchroom. So I'm not sure what's going on with his co-promoter, but he's going to headline this show, this fresh production boxing. So we should be getting an official announcement this week. And look like it's on pay-per-view down in Puerto Rico. So November the 9th, y'all stay tuned. Should have an announcement soon for that. He might stop Fulton. Yeah, he might. They're gonna have a great game. They gotta have a great game plan, and he gonna have to box and then fight when he want to fight. Because I don't think he can fight Nick Ball's fight like he did against Leo and how he did against Figueroa. I think Nick Ball will bully him. That's just me. I don't know. We'll see though. He can prove me wrong, but right now, and I don't think he should take more fights either. Like, it's kind of tricky with Fulton. I don't think he should go, fight 2 more fights and get yourself to get. No, bro. He's a former unified world champion. He got to fix it. He got, you know what I'm saying? He got a professional team with him. He can fix that shit. I mean, I ain't saying Nick Ball is unbeatable. I just think, I don't know if he can be able to fight Nick Ball's style like he did the other guys. That's all I'm saying. All right, so we got this fight card announced. Sonny Harris versus Galal Ufai. This is November the 30th. I like this fight. Very interesting. You know what I'm saying? 2 different style classes. Last week, Ufai had an unnecessary stay busy fight. You know what I'm saying? Looked like he hurt his left hand. I was paying attention, bro. I was like, bro, why are you shaking your left hand? And they got people looking at it. But it looked like everything is good. They had that press conference. So Sonny, well, this is a WBC interim title fight. So the winner would get the winner between Kenshiro Tajiri versus Christoph Rosales. And those guys fight next week in Japan. Rosales is with Canelo. That's why Canelo was in Japan. I know people seeing Canelo out there in Japan. They was like, oh shit, he gonna fight on anyways card. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. But I'm looking forward to this. For sure. Yeah, so that should be a good one. The 112. 112 is wide open. Alright, here's another Matchroom card that just got announced, man. People that, I've been telling people this for a minute, throwing out hints and shit, trying to get people right, but we're here now. Liam Paro versus Richardson Hitchens, IBF title at 140 pounds. That's a good fight. Now, let me tell you how we got here. So Hitchens. Okay, let's start Paro. Of course, Paro beat Matisse. And Paro was looking for a big fight in December. Whether it was going to be Haney or Kambosos. Those were the 2 main guys. So they were waiting for the Australian government to approve the fight and, to bless off and provide the bread for the fight. They wasn't willing to do it for this year. So that fight is off. So Paro wanted the fight. So he got a mandatory in Hitchens, and that's why they made the fight. Now, Hitchens on his side, he was going to fight Pedraza on the same date in the same venue because he was anticipating Paro was going to take a bigger fight in Australia. So it didn't happen. Then that's how we came together. All right. So I like the fight, though. I think it's going to be a technical fight. Paro is got a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum. He's the bigger puncher in the fight. Hitchens may be the better boxer. So it's going to be a nice little style matchup. Southpaw and a good slick boxer. So we're going to see. And then you got a solid undercard. Moncho LeBron versus Christopher Diaz. That fight was postponed. It was supposed to be on the Philly card, Boost card a couple of months ago, July. You got Jaleel Hackett is back. You know what I'm saying? Young up-and-coming welterweight. Then you got Yankiel Rivera. That's another good fighter. Mark Castro. So, yeah, this will be a solid card, though. This is a good fight. A lot of people didn't think this fight was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But it was going to happen one way or the other because IBF going to be playing with their mandatory. So, they're trying to get it out the way. He needs a strength and conditioning coach. He needs a strength. His core, his legs, his balance versus Castro wasn't very good. His punch resistance wasn't either to me. He was getting hurt. But we're going to see. He going to try to dog it out with Nick Ball and fight the wrong fight. He going to lose, in my opinion. You about to mix in some boxing with some banging. Alright, so this is another one. I was trying, you know what I'm saying? Let people know, but it is what it is. I guess you gotta hear it from the big media that everybody be good. But Tank versus Lamont Roach, gonna go down December 14th in Houston. I like the fight. I've been the biggest proponent for this fight, before anybody. Because first, my reason is real simple. This type of fight is how we got Tank how he became a big star. You know what I'm saying? He been fighting, bringing guys up and fighting them, and people don't really care about that shit no more because we know Tank is going crazy and he bringing a big fan base. So it's not about like I've been out of the sports, you know what I'm saying? Like how we think about sports, like the NBA and whatever football. Bro, that shit don't matter. It's about who putting butts in seats. It don't matter who you really fight. You got your opportunity to support it or not. But I'm with it. I think Lamont Roach is in his prime. He fights at 130, but he like a strong 130 pounder. If you've seen his fights recently, you can tell he big and strong for the weight. So I think 35 may get him actually a good little breather. But he's facing Tank. You know, it's always an issue when you face a big punching guy like Tank who got skills. So it's cool. They got a little amateur rivalry. You know what I'm saying? He got somebody that can sell the fight, you know? So, yeah, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Because if you look at the circumstances of it, you know, the only other guy that got contracts to fight Tank was Lomachenko. He turned it down. Nobody else really got close to even getting a Tank fight. I mean, they asked about Rayo, but Rayo, you know, he want to fight at 140. So that was a dead issue. Ain't nothing to talk about. We know Shakur shit. We know that shit won't never done real. Who else they said ducking him? There's only one person that ducked Tank Davis. That was Lomachenko. Those guys about to finalize a deal, and he said no, like red pops. So all the other shit though is just, you know, it's lies really at this point because nobody else was even in no negotiations with Tank other than Lomachenko and then now Lamont Roach. Now Lamont Roach got this fight, you know, the tea leaves has been set for him to get a big fight with Tank for a minute. We know he fought Hector Luis Garcia last year on a pay-per-view card, PBC pay-per-view undercard with Andre versus Benavidez. And he took the title from Hector Luis Garcia. Now he's working with ProBox. So he got an interesting dynamic, Lamont Roach. He has an interesting dynamic. He's a free agent. He's his own promoter, but he's also working with ProBox. And he has Roberto Diaz on his team. Roberto Diaz, if y'all remember, he was the matchmaker for Golden Boy for like 15, 20 years type shit. But they let him go. You know what I'm saying? So he been working with Lamont Roach. So he got a nice little team around him. And ProBox and PBC has been trading talent for like the last 4 or 5 months. I mean, let's just run it down. Hot Rod Kalajic, ProBox fighter. He fights David Morrell, right? You got Trevor McCombie, ProBox fighter. He fights Caleb Plant, right? Gave a good fight. Then they did a talent trade. They sent Jared Hurd and Jason Rosario, 2 former world champions, PBC fighters. They went and fought on the ProBox platform. They also sent their young prospect Michael Angeletti to fight on their platform, ProBox. This week coming up, Chris Colbert, he's about to fight on ProBox. So they working together. So if you really take a step back and like, damn, see this what it is with boxing fans, right? We don't look past the surface. We just look at the surface. So what I mean by that, we look at the big name. So if Tank not gonna fight Lomachenko, he gotta fight Shakur. He gotta fight. I don't think they mentioned Williams Zepeda. They haven't mentioned him like that. But he gotta fight a big name fighter. You know, Teofimo. He gotta fight Teofimo. He gotta go fight. You know, whatever. They always search for the big name, but we don't look for the realistic name. Because I'm in the business where I'm not going to be shocked about any announcement no more. I'm going to be on the head of the game. I'm going to be right there with it. You're going to shock me because a lot of people shocked. That's why they saying it's a trash fight, it's this and that. It's actually a good fight. I like it. I like these type of fights because I think Tank knows he knows Lamont Roach can fight and he going to treat him accordingly. So we're going to get some spectacular shit. And that's what it's all about. Now, as far as the undercard, now, y'all get y'all pencils out, right? Now, this is what I think is going to happen. So, y'all can get your pencils out You know what I'm saying? You can bookmark this timestamp however you want to do it. But this is what I think is going to happen, right? Ain't nothing official, but I'm going to throw some name. I'm going to throw a fight card out there for you. Basically, PBC. It might be the other way around. They got more dates and shit. But they're not just working with the PBC. They're working with Top Rank. So, Pro Box is basically Top Rank. They're working with Michael Conlan. So, Pro Box is basically the Conlan boxing. I mean, they sent Leo over there to win the world title. They're working with Queensberry. They just sent Rios over there to fight Nick Ball. So, I'm just saying, I just say Pro Box is for boxing. They basically take PBC out and just say they basically boxing because, I mean, they working with everybody, it seems like to me. And they got more shit coming. They got a couple of cards coming up to close out the year. I like it. You know, they got a card in Ireland. They got a card next week. They got a card in DC, I think the 19th, with Lamont Rose Jr.'s brother or something on that card. And then they got a card on the 23rd with the ladies, rematch, Yoshida versus Metcalf, Sharita Metcalf. So they got, they doing business with everybody. Alright, so, this is the card. Now, this ain't official, so, I mean, this is what I've been working on, and this is what I got for the other card. I heard Bivol Hot Rod was negotiated before. Yeah, they was, for sure. They was. Yep. That was negotiated. Yep. For sure. So, yeah, they've been doing a lot of good stuff. So, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Rose Jr. So, here's some fights that I've been hearing. Jamal Charlo versus Thomas LaManna. Jamel Charlo versus Julian J. Rod Williams. Or maybe, I know Jesus Ramos was offered the fight, but I don't think he's going to get it. So, I'm going to say Jamel Charlo versus J. Rod. Abrela Playo versus Sandor Martin. Carlos Adames versus a Kazakhstan kid. Fuck, what's his name? No Sultanov. He's number 2 in the WBC. I mean, I'm going to pull him up on BoxRec. I don't know if a lot of you guys are familiar with him. So, Nursultanov, he fought at the WBC convention last year. So, that don't, man, you fight at the convention, you definitely getting a title shot. So, Carlos Adames versus Sultan. I'm going to pull him up real quick so I don't know if everybody's familiar. So, hope you guys got that. Now, this is what I've been getting. We're going to see if it's official. You can never pin down PBC because PBC be keeping shit on the lock and key for sure. Let me take this off. Take off Tank. They've been keeping shit on the lock and key, bro. So this kid right here, he's from Kazakhstan. And yeah, those are fights I heard. So I'm gonna run it back. Jamal Charlo versus Thomas LaManna. Jamel Charlo versus J-Rock. But I'm hoping for Jesus Ramos for sure. Abrela Playo versus Sandor Martin. We know that fight was done already. And Carlos Adames versus kid, what's his name? Nareem Nursultanov. He's like number 2 in the WBC. He won a title eliminator at the WBC convention. So that's what I got, yo. We're gonna see what they announce. It should be announced pretty soon. Y'all seen that poster, right? That poster came from Tank. So, you know what I'm saying? There it is. We'll see what's up. He might beat Adames. Man, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Alright, we got a couple of more things. So Naoya Inoue and Sam Goodman are in negotiations to fight. And that fight probably get done December 24th. So how we got here. So we know Inoue is undisputed. I like to do the backstories, yo. That shit gets me on point too when I do the backstory and bring it full circle. So that's why I like to do this a lot. So anyway, he undisputed. He beat Neri, his WBC mandatory. after the fight, Sam Goodman got in the ring calling him out, said he got next, which makes sense because he's an IBF mandatory and he's number one in the WBO, so basically WBO mandatory too. He decides to take another fight because he understood that anyway he was going to face TJ Doheny. It was already basically in the mix. But he's first in line to get the fight with. He's the next mandatory in rotation to get anyway. The next mandatory after Nery. So anyway takes the. First Sam Goodman took a fight in July, and he broke his hand. Right, hurt his hand in the fight. Won the fight, but hurt his hand. So it looked like he wasn't gonna make September anyway. So anyway, went on and fight TJ Doheny. Had a crafty fight. He ended up stopping him, broke his back. So now we back to square one. The mandatory that's next is the IBF. Now, in the midst of all of that, WBA ordered their mandatory former unified champion MJ Akhmadaliev. So anyway, already had plans to fight Doheny. Now he beat Doheny. Now the IBF about to order Sam Goodman. So MJ and his team is kind of upset because they talk about anyway Duggan and this and that, but it's not. If you know the same thing, that the same benefits that anyway is getting, MJ got. It's just people don't pay attention, or their team ain't paying attention. Because the same thing happened with him when he was unified champion, WBA, IBF. The IBF ordered Marlon Tapales first. Then the WBA overruled it and ordered Ronnie Rios. So he fought Ronnie Rios first. Then he fought the second mandatory, the IBF mandatory Tapales, and he lost. So now they're just doing it in reverse. Instead of WBA going first, the IBF going to go first. So it really ain't no big news. Anyway, ain't ducking that guy. Actually, I hope he keep it up because I think Anyway fight better when he mad. And we know Anyway is coming back in April. So MJ's team should fight for an interim championship. I mean, you got Elijah Pierce at number 3. Make the fight. You know what I'm saying? They can't make an interim title fight. WBA interim. Those shits is back in style. Caleb Plant just fought for one. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. Just stay busy. Don't sit out the whole year and not fight. And if you know anyway, this is his third fight this year when he faced Sam Goodman. He fought in May, he fought in September, and then December. And I don't think the MJ fight this year. I don't even know if he fought this year. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember. So, bro, go fight for the interim. Go fight for WBA interim, and then you can get the mandatory. Because obviously, Anyway is fighting his mandatories. You know what I'm saying? Because Nery was a mandatory. You know, I mean, TJ Doheny was like that wasn't a mandatory, it's a voluntary, but it was a fight he wanted to get out the way because Doheny been knocking out all Japanese fighters and shit. So he wanted to get payback. But this is a mandatory. This guy is mandatory in 2 sanctioned bodies, IBF and WBO. And Sam Goodman got a good ass win on his resume. He got 2 good wins, but the Raees Aline win, that's real solid. A lot of guys didn't want to fight him. He beat him pretty clear, and then he beat TJ Doheny too. So it ain't like he deserved a fight too. He deserved an opportunity just like MJ. So we're gonna see. So December 24th, they're talking about this one. I think it get made too. Alright, so my last one. So the Boxing Hall of Fame. So they just announced 4 guys that's gonna go on the ballot for 2025. So Manny Pacquiao, Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter, and Lucien Boutte. So here's the complete list right here. I don't know if you guys can see all of it. They just added those 4 names I just mentioned. So the boxing writers, the people who has a vote, they can pick 5 guys for this category. Only 3 gonna get in, right? So you got Arthur Abraham in there, Arce, Nigel Benn. I'm just speaking of names that stand out to me. Casamayor, Chris Eubank, Freitas, you know what I'm saying? Chris Young, Kessler up in there, Rocky Lockridge. So you got a lot of old head fighters back in the day. Fernando Vargas, Mildred Taylor, Tonio Tarver, Vinny Paz. Vinny Paz been on the ballot for a long ass time. Michael Nunn. So we're gonna see. Darius Mikushevsky. I remember him. So I think Pacquiao getting in for sure. First ballot. I don't know about Sean and I don't know about Mikey. I don't know. Because this, it's kind of different now. Now you gotta be out the ring for 3 years and you can get in. And a lot of this shit is based on popularity, right? Because real talk, Michael Nunn probably should be in there. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. So only three new guys gonna go in out of this list. And what's this about? I don't know, 30 names or some shit. So that's crazy. So yeah, Pacquiao for sure. He getting in. I don't know if Sean Porter getting in on the first ballot. Mikey, 4 division world champion. I don't know. Maybe he got a good. Maybe he's popular with the writers. He might get in first ballot. We're gonna see. Sean Porter is popular too. Yo, Sean Porter is one of the most accessible fighters in boxing. Like he be at all the fights. You can see him walking. No security. It be him and a couple of maybe 1 or 2 guys. Or Sean Porter is everywhere. And you can holler at him. He real cool. All that shit. So maybe the writers, So, but I mean, if I'm looking at this, I think Michael Nunn get in. I think he gets in. That shit hard though, bro. That shit's hard. That shit's hard, yo. You gotta do your research on this shit. Only one I know for sure is Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he said Mildred Taylor. Yeah, they killing him off his what happened the last part of his career though. And then the big fights, Chris Eubank, maybe. I don't think Lucien Boutte definitely ain't getting in. But they don't care. Look, as y'all can see, they don't care about PEDs. Mikushevsky, yeah, Mikushevsky. He had a great career too. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna get in. You got Omar Narvaez. That's one of Inoue's best wins. He's on there. He third from the top. He lost to Donaire. Donaire couldn't stop him when Donaire was in his prime. But anyway, he got him up out of there like 2 rounds. Narvaez is on there. So when they say this guy can make the Hall of Fame, bro. Like it depends. It ain't always clear cut either. This dude had like 21 title defenses. But it depends, yo. See, that's crazy because really all these guys that's on this list, they put a lot in the game where they can be a Hall of Famer, right? They put a big service in the sport of boxing. But that shit get judged by people who never lace up the gloves pretty much. And it depends on your relationship with some of these fighters if you get in or not. Like James Toney wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. He had to wait a year. That's crazy to me. So it's cool to talk about and shit like that, but it ain't always on the up and up to me. So yeah, so that's what it is, man. I just want to bring that to you guys. They're supposed to be announcing the official class, I think December. So, you know what I'm saying? Once we get that, we'll talk about it. So, that's what it is, man. This week coming up, we got hella boxing, all week. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of those guys. I always say, like, if I send out information, I always say if you're interested, because a lot of people ain't watching boxing like that. I don't know if people watching boxing, so I don't like to throw shit. I used to throw stuff on people all the time, be like, yo, bro, watch this fight. Now I throw something out and just be like, yo, if you like it, you can tap in with it. But this week, if you're one of those boxing fans that like boxing and what happened in the ring, this is a fight week for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to cover it tomorrow on my pre-gaming show. For sure, we're going to talk about everything and break it down. But just a quick little preview Of course, we got Beterbiev versus Bivol. We've been waiting for that as boxing fans forever. So we finally get that. Hopefully everything is straight with that. And they got a solid card, but it's more so of a UK-based card. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping. You have a title. We got a bunch of title fights too, because on that card, Bivol, Beterbiev, you got what, 3 title fights? You got Jay Abatai defending his title, Scott Nicholson defending her title, so that's what's up. That same day in Japan, Nasinga, the IBF champion, 108 pounds, he's going over there to face former champion Yabuki. That's going to be a banging ass fight right there, y'all. That's going to be a banging ass fight. I can't wait to break that one down. And then Tierra Brown is fighting for the WBC interim title. She's a mandatory for Scott Nicholson. It makes sense. She's fighting a former opponent of Scott Nicholson, Diana Vargas. So yeah, she's staying on pace with, if Tierra Brown wins, they gotta order that fight with her, the winner between Raymond Chapman and Scott Nicholson. So on the 13th and 14th, bro, we got like 7 title fights, between those 2 days. They're doing back-to-back cards on ESPN Plus early morning, and this like a 4-day weekend for me. So we're gonna be good to go. So on the 13th, Takuma Inoue defending his WBA title against Tsunami. That's a tough fight. Kenshiro and Rosales fighting for the vacant WBC flyweight. That's 112. Sergio Yuri, he's going to defend his WBA title on that card. We got a vacant WBO title fight at 108 pounds. Wata versus Noriega. That's going to be a good fight too. So that's on the 13th. So that's 4 world title fights. And then on the 14th, no, that's the 13th. On the 14th, I think you got 3 more. You got Junto Nakatani defending his WBC. So if Junto Nakatani win and Takuma Inoue win, those guys will probably unify next year, because that's a prerequisite for the Monster Inoue to fight Junto. He said, "You got to beat my brother," and they both cool with it. So let's get it. So that's a prelude. They both headline on separate shows. Kosei Tanaka defending his WBO super flyweight title. That's an important fight because he in the same division as Bam Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? Bam got the WBC. The other 2 belts, they about to do a rematch with Ioka and Martinez. So this is a fight, Tanaka. This is a fight that Bam can go after his fight in November. They basically fight 2 or 3 weeks apart. So I like that. Anthony Asquaga versus Jonathan Gonzalez. So we got a lot of good fights, man. A lot of good fights. I can't wait for it, for sure. So next week gonna be crazy. So that's what it is. Alright, man. I'm gonna close it out. I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you haven't. For those on the playback, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back tomorrow talking about the upcoming fight schedule for sure. Tap into the website as well. I'm gonna update the schedule, so if you guys need to refer back to that, you need to know what you need to watch and how you need to watch it. Just feel free to tap into the website, tap into the weekly schedule, and I got you covered. So yes, sir. Salute to everybody coming through the building. That's my time, and I'm out.